Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to Compass Games Live. The date is September 29th. Sorry, I had some audio issues going on. Hopefully, they're going to resolve themselves here, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, our thoughts are with everybody in Florida, Georgia, neighboring states. Obviously, it's a traumatic weather event going on right now. And I think we have some people here that are near the area that have posted, and I'm sure we're staying in touch with friends or family obviously that are in the area that are affected by the hurricane. So yeah, let's hope the next few days. I actually learned something new. I didn't realize that most fatalities from hurricanes by factor of 4 or 5 happen after the event has happened. So they're not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. Now's probably the danger time as things as it passes through for the next few days. So let's hope everybody stays safe in that area. But it's a pleasure to have you here. We have quite a bit to cover tonight. So welcome to episode 81 of Compass Games Live. We're going to cover a lot of different things, but as always, I like to start with the release schedule updates. So I'm going to just sort of zoom in here as much as I can to talk about the schedule, which I've done here. So again, on the right side, we have our recent releases, and you'll see in the top position, pole position, we have American Tank Ace and True to Form. As you can see from the Compass Games Enthusiast group from Charles Latorre, that he received his copy 3 hours ago. At least he posted 3 hours ago. So we have a very active Facebook group. Of course, there's other media channels available. But yeah, I think it's more than 2,400 members, yes, are on Facebook. And it's a great community, multiple posts every day. And as you can see, we've got some Gregory M Smith solitaire goodness coming down the pike for everybody. So we're really excited about that. Also worth noting is, and I'll cover this in the newsletter, we have a new Learn to Play episode that's put together by Maurice Fitzgerald, known as Mo. And he worked with Gregory M. Smith. And we have right now a Learn to Play video tutorial session on this very game, American Tank Ace. So this is probably the best timing we've ever had with a video being debuted with the game release at the same time, because people are literally, as you see here, receiving it several hours ago. And I know for others, they're still waiting for their copy to arrive. So that's really really exciting news to see that, and I hope those that order the game will receive it very soon, as whereas we're still shipping actively from the warehouse, because there were a lot of pre-orders for the game for sure. So we're really excited about that. Back to the release schedule though. So American Tank Ace is obviously our most recent release. So I'm going to go back over here to the left side. So this is our upcoming titles here that I'm highlighting, and as you very well know already, we just recently completed our Kickstarter campaign for Schnellboats. That's the follow-on, our sequel title to what started all was with Devil Boats by Joe Carter. Another solitaire game, by the way, also narrative-driven. So we actually closed out with 146 pledges for Schnellboats, which was a very strong finish. So thanks to everybody who decided to support us through the Kickstarter, and of course, thanks to everybody that also supported us during our pre-order as well. The game is still available, of course, on our website at the pre-order price just by clicking on the link. Right now on Kickstarter, which I'll show here in a moment, we have Myari from Kevin McPartland. So that is actually active on Kickstarter right now. So that's the second game lined up to be released from Compass Games. Then we had a slight change. Again, Bill Thomas has done his audible call, and we've moved up. Sniper Kill Confirmed has moved up ahead of Paper Wars issue 102. So that is the only change to the schedule that we've actually made, and that is that we've bumped up Sniper Kill Confirmed one slot. It's now ahead of Paper Wars issue 102, which features a Santiago campaign as the insert game. And then, as always, if you just scroll the left column, you can see a lot of the other games that we have in the pipeline as far as the order of appearance of the release schedule. And we do average about 2 releases per month. And maybe the Paper Wars, I don't know if that counts as one of the 2 releases. Sometimes Bill will throw that in as a third item. So again, that is the update on the release schedule. Turning to our newsletter that we sent out today. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please do. consider subscribing to our newsletter from our website. The big news is around, again, the Kickstarter we have for Myari Warriors of the Long White Cloud by Kevin McPartland. I'll show you here the Kickstarter page. We have nearly 100 backers already with 5 days to go. We'll be doing an email campaign tomorrow to those that expressed interest in similar style games that we've produced in the past. So we're going to be contacting several hundred of our customers tomorrow. But again, this newsletter went out to quite a few people as well. So just want to make you aware that we got Myari on the website. It's available now. You'll see a lot of the images and of course all the components that come with the game. This is definitely like a light style war game or crossover game. Absolutely. And the rules, I want to point out the rules are available from the Kickstarter page. And you'll be really surprised when you look at the rules, which are right here. The rules are very short, and the game complexity level is quite refreshingly simple, actually. So it's probably ranks in the Euro scale as far as rules. I'm going to actually go through all the pages now just to show you how much we have for rules for the entire game. So I'm going through it now, already on page 6 for combat, 7, 8, and it ends really at page 8. We then have solitaire rules because that's so important. You know, Bill always talks about having solitaire rules for say it's a 2-player or multiplayer game. Let's make sure it's solitaire friendly. So we have here section 15.0 starting on page 9, where you can add solitaire rules as a bonus to the game. And then the rest is the designer and player notes, and that's it. So it's a total, it's very short rule booklet here. So very playable. You can open up the box and play the game probably within an hour pretty easily, I would think. So again, just want to make sure, please take a look at Myari. It's going on for 5 more days. You can see the components. Of course, it has the mounted map, the punch board counters with the rounded corners, which everybody likes so much. And you can be in 110 event cards, as you can see here. So again, just wanted to mention that was our headliner for the newsletter, was really our current Kickstarter campaign. And there's more information here in the newsletter. Last time we were together, and actually this was during the town hall, we did several pre-orders. We actually did 3 pre-order announcements during our last session. So you can see them here. We have Europe and Turmoil 2. So again, Chris Van Burden, this is his follow-on title. So it extends this entire chapter into the interwar period between World War I and World War II. So this is now available for pre-order. This is something we did cover, showed some of the components in our last broadcast. So definitely check out Europe and Turmoil 2. Obviously, Europe and Turmoil has a huge following. And that being the case, we've now also announced the deluxe edition pre-order for Europe and Turmoil, the prelude to the Great War. So now we've got 2 titles that go back to back. So you can arrange a really nice weekend or a game convention at some point when the Europe and Turmoil 2 game is shipping next year. For game conventions or weekends, you can do both games over an extended play period, which is pretty cool concept to be able to do that. And of course, the game system has evolved. So the deluxe edition, this is a pretty common question. Is there a replacement? Is there a kit or a upgrade kit for Europe and Turmoil? And the answer to that is no, because absolutely every component has been updated, and it was also done purposely or intentionally, because it's actually now on par with Europe and Turmoil 2, which is the new release. So there were some design enhancements made in that new title that's going to be coming, and now the deluxe edition is going to get that on par with Europe and Turmoil 2. So you're going to find out a lot more about Europe and Turmoil 2 either by watching the last broadcast or going to the pre-order page. And then just FYI, on the pre-order page for Europe and Turmoil 2, I'm going to be updating the back of the box file. There was a small little typo with the year period that's covered. So that's going to go on. That's going to go live tomorrow as far as the updated back of the box cover. And then our last announcement, which was our last time we were together, was Breaking the Chains 2.0. Also being added to the pre-order list. So as you can imagine, yes, we're covering 3 pre-orders we've already done, but to be honest, we're going to have several pre-order game announcements tonight. I think you're all aware of that. We've got the catalog that people are going to be receiving soon. So all hands are on deck. We need to get all the games that are in the catalog also up for pre-order as well. So I'm definitely going to be covering that in a second. Other news is, again, we had other recent pre-orders, again, because of the catalog, etc. We've gone through a lot of new pre-orders. If you go to our pre-order page, just look under the pay later option, because we're only offering pay later right now. You're not going to be able to pay now, but check under the pay later option. You'll see all the recent pre-orders we've added. And again, I just mentioned American 10 Case is now shipping, literally landing, now rolling into people's doorsteps as we speak. So hope you really enjoy that game, and definitely you're going to want to check out the Learn to Play. Again, our upcoming game releases, pretty obvious what they are. It's on the homepage, but here it's listed again. The next two releases will be Schnell Boats, followed by Myari. So those are our next two box game releases. I want to talk a little bit about Compass Games Expo. So we do have some news I want to share with you about Compass Games Expo. So just two things I'd like to cover tonight about it. Number one is for everybody that's registered, and we're up to, I believe it's around 80, I think it's 84 that are now registered. I updated it earlier today as far as total registration. So I think it's around 84, but I'm about a week behind in getting the game sign-up sheet updated. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow and through the weekend. There's about 5 to 8 people I need to add their game signups to the list. So that's going to be happening in the next 24 to 48 hours. But all the attendees are now fully listed on our roster. Some of you may have actually received an email I sent out, just a reminder that if you've registered already, we're trying to do prepayments before the event, or if you paid but didn't register, we had 3 of you that forgot to do that, and I think you already took care of it. So thanks for your cooperation for getting your registrations in, and I'm going to be adding your game signups in the next 48 hours. So what's the big news that I want to share about Compass Expo? And this will be of particular interest for those in driving distance or those that haven't booked their flights yet. So Bill Thomas found out today that the hotel is going to make the space available to us one day earlier. So that means on Wednesday, November 9th in the morning, we're going to actually be doing setup instead of doing it late Wednesday or into early Thursday morning. So we're actually going to be doing setup on Wednesday, November 9th in the morning, which means it's safe to say around afternoon time, let's call it, you'll be able to get in already and start setting up to play games. So that would be like an early half-day bonus you can take advantage of at the front end of the Expo event. Is if you can make it on Wednesday, we'll be setting up Wednesday morning, and by Wednesday afternoon, we should have the doors open as far as all the tables being set up, getting the Compass store set up, etc. So we're going to try to take advantage of being able to get a early bonus day start for Compass Expo. So again, if you're in driving distance or if you haven't booked any flights yet, think about coming in on Wednesday, November 9th, if you want to take advantage of the early access. The last thing I want to mention about Compass Expo is we've added a bunch of special events. You'll see those on the Expo page from our website, but we really need to start communicating out to all the attendees what our special events are going to be and other important things to know about the event to help you get prepared for the event as well. So also starting next week, we're going to start sending out a series of email updates, and that's only going to go out to those that have registered. We're going to send you updates and important information. We're gonna definitely spotlight, say, certain designers or certain special events we want to make sure you're aware of, and then other logistical factors around the event, etc. We're going to try to share as much information as we can to help you prepare for the event. So again, just want to share that important information with you. So we're really getting excited about Compass Expo, less than 60 days away. So obviously we're really excited about that. You know about the Papers War subscriptions already. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger again, just to talk about, we've had some movement on the Vassal front. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about Vassal in some time, but that doesn't mean there's not a lot of work being done behind the scenes. We've got Maurice Fitzgerald, who manages our Vassal effort. He's working with 10, 20 Vassal developers behind the scenes. So we really appreciate everything that Mo does for us. And as you can see, the results of that. So we have 4 separate and new Vassal modules available now that you can download immediately. So we've got Gilbert Collins's War for America, the American Revolution, now on Vassal. We've got Coalition, the Napoleonic Wars, now available on Vassal. Granada Last Stand of the Moors available. And last but not least, we've got a Paper Wars insert game, believe it or not. So we've got Paper Wars issue 89, Burning Mountains. That's so again, we've got 4 new modules. And again, thanks to Mo, thanks to all our Vassal developers for all your efforts. And that doesn't even include all the Vassal work done on our play test Vassal kits, which really helps us with game development and obviously with all the play testing we do. So that is significant news that there's 4 new drops in terms of Vassal modules that are available. Again, our recent game releases you can see from our homepage, so I'm not going to spend any time on that. Again, thanks to the Facebook group, I shared with you one of the posts from 3 hours ago that was made to that group, 2,400 members strong. So if you're on Facebook, make sure you join it. And this is just the best timing possible here. So again, Mo has released his Learn to Play, which features the game designer, Gregory M. Smith. All right, how many of you right now? So here's a question for you. How many of you that have joined us tonight have a Gregory M. Smith design? So this can go back to the Hunters, the Hunted, Silent Victory, and all the different Compass game products he's done. Gosh, I've lost count. He's done 4 or 5 or 6 games for Compass at least, and same number of games under development or in various stages of artwork. So I'd love to hear your comments to see if you've got any Gregory M. Smith designs and how many you think you might actually have. So Mo here's never heard of him. Exactly. So that's why I want to ask you that question. Who has some of his games? We've got a huge one. We've got a Magnus Opus from Gregory Smith and Western Front Ace, which is at the printers right now. So I'm hoping some of you are very familiar with Gregory Smith's designs. But again, we've got that Learn to Play available right now. Also, just want to give a plug for the work that Mo does and what Gregory M. Smith did. It's also the number 3 hot featured or hot trending video according to Board Game Geek. So for hot videos, we're ranking now in the 3rd spot. Win, place, and show. We are showing on Board Game Geek with that video on the Learn to Play. And really, to be honest, I think the reason for that is not just the game, not just Gregory, not just Mo. To me, the most obvious reason is it's the timing. It's the timing of this video being right at the cusp of people receiving this game. So that's when people are definitely going to start watching this video. So again, kudos to Mo and Greg, and thank you for watching the video, for helping it rank so high. Great to get that kind of free promotion through Board Game Geek. It never hurts, right? So, and also it's going to help you learn the game. It's a solitaire game, obviously. It's going to help you learn the game. So props again, and please do check out that video. So we did want to spotlight that on our newsletter, and that pretty much wraps up the newsletter. So I just want to share that with you. Now, also, if you missed the announcement earlier, we do have a Compass merch available now. So you can also pick up merchandise. Here's the bit.ly link. So I tried to shorten it for you. And we are going to add it as a main link on our website. So we're going to have like a merch link. And obviously the whole concept of merch is from you guys. It's what you told us you wanted. You wanted to see Compass merchandise. Billy was teasing us with his hoodie. So here's the Billy hoodie right here. I'll bring it up right now. So there it is right there. This is the piece of merchandise that started it all. It was what Billy always wore. So now you can have that hoodie, Compass Games hoodie. But as you can see here, of course, we're going to offer lots of different styles. You can go in and order yourself. Again, it's not just shirts. There's homeware, accessories, drinkware. We can easily add more stuff as well. But then again, just a reminder again that you just could follow this bit.ly link, or I think next week. And I'm sure we'll make a special announcement as well. Next week, you should see the main navigation link to the merch store as well, where you can easily find it. But definitely check it out. Again, it's just a bit.ly link called Compass-Merch. Tried to make it as simple and common sense as possible. So please check it out. If you have ideas for merchandise, please let us know. I would recommend talking here in the chat right now. If you're on YouTube or Facebook tonight, let Mo know. He's on board with us right now. Let him know what ideas you'd like to see for merchandise. You can propose it to him directly, or shoot me an email at john@compassgames.com, and I'll be happy to help spread the word on that as well. Now, another thing I'd like to do is I'm very happy to say this, actually. So what I'm very happy to say is, I'm doing checkups on various projects, and it's been a hard push the last few weeks with pre-orders and such. And we've got the catalog. We have the catalog being announced soon. But I just want to take a moment to share with you that Tank Leader is moving forward. It's progressing actually quite well since we last talked. So I've got posts here since Sunday, September 24th, the 23rd. So it's now picking up at a daily cadence. And that's very important for any project when you have multiple project team members posting multiple times in a day, and you've got a daily cadence that's going again. It's that positive momentum that we have going. So as a result, we have here, we have updates. What's happened is we've made some corrections, the project team rather, through our artist, Shane Logan. We've made some updates to the artwork. So the counter sheets have been updated, which I'm going to try to bring up here if the internet connection cooperates. I want to show that to you, or I'll try to show you some of the other templates and files, player aid cards we have. So while that's trying to load, you can see here all these files, counter sheets. We've got formation cards that have been updated. And again, I'm not sure why it's not cooperating. Here we go. So this is a formation card. This is a larger size card. Imagine the size of a counter individual. Think of it like a tarot, more of a tarot size card, probably 4.5 inches tall. But there's formations in Tank Leader. And this is the Eastern Front game, by the way. So it gives you an idea and again, here's the counters that was having trouble coming up. So we did some updates to the counters as well. I'm not going to zoom in here because I'm afraid it's going to be too slow. But across the board, we've done a lot of updates to the components. Also finalizing the final rules as well, which is absolutely very important that we finalize the rules, because that was that big step that got stuck, where we were just stuck with that and getting those rules updated. So here you can see the player aid card. One of the player aid cards, there's many player aid cards in the game. And just to give you a better view of this, I'll try to zoom in a little bit here for you. And I'll just give it its own little focus here. So as you can see here, this just has the sequence of play, has the values of the units, but we've got a lot of different player aid cards like this. We've got all the rules references already worked in, so that's how far along the team is with the rules. So that's another positive sign that we're also updating all these player aid cards with the latest information. This is the last one I want to show you tonight. There's other ones here as well. Obviously, lots of player aid cards and full color, very attractive, but I really like the job that's been done with the updates to the terrain effects chart. Just gives you an idea of the quality of the work being done by the artist Shane Logan and the team as well. So this gives you all the information. The concept of cover for vehicles, by the way, is covered in here. But again, just they're doing just a great job. The artwork is just people saw the artwork a long time ago. This is one of those pre-order projects that's taken us quite a while to get unstuck. But now I'm just so excited to see the movement that's happening with this game again. So I just want to share with you, we've got some great activity going on right now with American Tank Ace and all these different components being updated, and the rules as well. As you can see here, the rules got updated here as well. So very nice to see daily traction. I want to share that with you because I know a lot of you were really hoping to anticipate some updates with some of our older pre-order projects that weren't done as quickly as we wished. And my hope is when you see these components, and I'll do a more dedicated session when I have more time, when I'm not doing a bunch of pre-order announcements. I hope when you see these components again and we revisit this project that's now getting over the final hurdle, that you're going to give it a major thumbs up, that yes, this was definitely worth the wait, as far as a game that's taken a while to get to the finish line. But I really think it's the project team's doing a great job. So kudos to them for stepping up and doing all that work. And let's see here. So yeah, just some comments. I'm just turning, before we get to the pre-orders tonight, I do want to just check in on your comments here just for a moment. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. So yeah, player aid cards, again, obviously that's that attention for detail you need in the game, especially when you're adding rules case references, the player aid cards. You can imagine the type of errata that can sneak in if you have rules case references that don't align anymore, or if you insert some new rules that pushes things out, then the charts have to be updated. So that's because the rules are at the latter stages. We would never insert rules cases for rules that are not like locked down and pretty much fixed and frozen, because you can't have rules case numbers changing like that. So yeah, thank you, Robert, on YouTube as well. I thought you guys would like to hear about a project. There's other projects as well that are getting unstuck. One thing I'll mention, because we haven't started this project yet, and that is we've got Siege of Jerusalem. So Siege of Jerusalem, Bruno Sinaglio, he was also the designer of that big Bulge game that came out about a year ago. He was actually one of the developers for the Avalon Hill version, and he was actually had some forced constraints put on him by Avalon Hill that he absolutely did not agree with, and the designer Fred Schachter didn't agree with the constraints that were being put on the game as well. It was sort of forced on them through Avalon Hill. So Bruno's actually taking the lead on this new version of Siege in Jerusalem, and it's going to fix a lot of stuff that Bruno's like, this is going to be such a better game. He's just like, John, I just hated. He was telling me at the Console World Expo, John, I just hated the handcuffs Avalon Hill put on us on this game, and what we had to do with the combat chart and the combat mechanics was ridiculous, and it should have been this way. And that's what's going to happen. Bruno's going to take the charge on that. We're going to get that going. So we're really excited about that. So just checking on, don't know about Wabbit Wham page. I think there's probably copyrights to that. It's a very popular, successful game line for sure. Just checking other comments. Is Eastern Front Tank Ace playable as Russians or German? I think Greg's online now, so I'm sure Greg's probably answering that question already. So I don't really want to steal his thunder on that. So I'll let him answer that question. Tank leader can be played solo. So keep in mind there's formation cards, but that's okay. The formations aren't really necessarily hidden. Doesn't really disrupt the game flow. So there's nothing per se about tank leader. I think a lot of you who've played the West End releases of those 3 games, we're talking Eastern Front, Western Front, Desert Steel. I'm sure a lot of you have played the game Solitaire. It's not a purely solitaire game. It's meant to be face-to-face. It's meant to be enjoyed face-to-face. But yes, absolutely, I could break out the game and play it solitaire as well. So let's see here. And there's a ton of tarot-sized cards for the game. There's actually another game that's going to be a pre-order announcement tonight that's actually like the same size of cards. So not poker style, but yeah, like this. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, tarot. I'm not a tarot card reader, so I don't know if I'm mispronouncing it or something, but hopefully I got that right. I'll keep my fingers crossed. So let's see. Nothing. Let's see here. So Mo's Game Time. Nothing at Expo. This is something people can buy on their own outside of Expo. So that's probably talking about the merchandise or the merchandise store. And thanks for suggesting to Mo a Compass branded dice tower. I think I heard that as well. Yes, there won't be merchandise at the Expo. So that's an excellent question from John Leach on YouTube tonight. It's really just set up as a storefront for you to go in there and go to your heart's content. See if you see something there you like, or like I said, like you're doing now, let Mo know what kind of things you'd like to see. There's probably one comment from Ed. I can't probably show it on screen, but what the hell? Okay, yeah, I don't know about that. So I'm not sure how popular that would be. There you go. But there you go. I showed it. See, we're transparent at Compass. Well, whatever you guys say, we're pretty much going to show it, although we don't want to offend people, obviously. And then, yeah, large whiskey glasses. I'd be for that. I think Kev Sharp would like something like that as well. And Ardwolf, by the way, I've bought from the merch store from Ardwolf Lair, and he, I think it's Patreon. I think it's Patreon that some of the content contributors do. But check out Ardwolf Lair's what he's done with merch. He's got a very cool shirt. My problem is I should have ordered a larger size. It's a little too tight on me, so I don't really wear it that often. It's a little too snug. It means I have to work out or fix that situation. But Ard's got a cool logo, and he's got a great shirt you can buy through Ardwolf Lairs. Just go to his YouTube channel. You'll have a link to where you can get his merchandise. And yeah, really it's thanks to you guys. So no kudos to us, really. It's kudos to you because you're the ones that really pushed the whole merchandise idea, suggested it to us, and we're very happy that Mo was willing to step forward and volunteer his services for us. So thank you again, Mo, for doing that. Yeah, cruise wear, you name it, whatever we can do. really looking forward to that. And I'm really excited about Bruce Inaglio getting started with Siege of Jerusalem. He's a true expert of the game. He's been involved as close as anybody can get involved with that game by being the main developer and being in the trenches working on the game for Avalon Hill. So we've definitely got the right person who's going to be working on it for sure. So there you have it. So again, just want to give you a quick update on that game, Tank Leader Eastern Front. I'm really excited about it. Also, a big announcement here, a not huge announcement, but I need some help, or we're looking for help. So if you're interested in play testing another Compass game, and this is a very popular game, by the way. This is one that's been done before, and this one's been slightly modified. It's been improved by the designer, by the original designer. So from Vance von Boris, we've got Remember the Main. We've got Remember the Main. It's going to be a boxed edition. It was in an S&T issue. It's one of the most popular S&T issues that was released in terms of a game, especially the post-SPI era. I would say it's one of the most popular post-SPI era S&T games that was ever done. So we really were excited to team up with Vance to do Remember the Main. And as we always ask on designer signature edition approaches to games, should this be a straight reprint, or can we make improvements to it? And Vance was like, oh no, there's stuff I need to do to improve it. So I've showed you some of the artwork before, and we're at the point now where the artwork's basically done. So now the Vassal kit, Kevin Conway was willing to help out. I reached out to Kevin Conway directly, and he's a great Vassal developer. He's going to be doing Vassal seminars again at Console World Expo next year again. So he really knows the ins and outs of Vassal, and he does a lot of playtest Vassal kits for us. But this has the production style artwork on it. So if you're interested, again, and Remember the Main. Doesn't really matter if you've played the game or not before. That might be a plus in certain cases, but the game's slightly been updated, of course, as well. But I'm looking for playtest volunteers for Remember the Main. So if you're interested in that, please contact me by email, or you can message me on Facebook, what have you. But it's john@compassgames.com. Would love to, and Vance would just be thrilled to see at least 3 or 4 people interested to get on board, join our project site. That's where we would have the Vassal kit. That's where you can interact with Vance von Boris directly on the project. We also have a dedicated developer on the project who's involved as well, that he's going to be involved in it. So please consider, if you would like to play test on Vassal, Remember the Main, please let me know. We would love to include you in that. And yeah, maybe we can throw in Hawaiian shirts for the that's probably for the merch store, but it's probably fitting also for Remember the Main. Who knows? But anyway, that's that. So what I need to do now is I think it's high time that we get to the pre-orders, because I do have to announce several pre-orders. We've covered the Compass game announcement. There's one thing I almost forgot, and that is the catalog, the end of year holiday sale catalog that we do each year. So we're expecting probably around next week sometime, we will make the official announcement that the catalog is out. People are receiving it. It will be available online from our website. We'll get out an email campaign, of course, besides posting on social media and providing a link as well. For those that don't have a hard copy yet, we'll make a PDF available as soon as we possibly can. But as Bill announced last week, in case you missed the announcement, this is important. So all the special prices from the catalog are now already in effect on the Compass store. So if you go to our website for any game in print, you'll notice there's special savings on basically every game. So you'll see those catalog, you'll see the catalog prices already executed on every product, so you can save now. So and I've seen some people joking, I think on the Facebook group earlier, somebody said, hey, I've already bought, who's fallen victim to the catalog prices on the website, because I've just purchased 10 items. So thank you, first of all, for purchasing 10 items. But I'm not going to mention your name. I don't want to embarrass you, but I think that shows there's some great deals out there for the Compass catalog sale. If you're able to make it to Compass Expo, I would highly recommend you bring out an empty suitcase, because it's 50% off at Expo for in-print games. There might be exceptions with games that are just brand newly released, like in the last month or two. Something that's fairly recent might not be discounted that much. But everything else that's in print, you want to have that extra suitcase because you'll get 50% off. And that's just the way to go on that. But check out our store. And yeah, it looks like people are taking advantage of the sale already, but we haven't really, it's a soft launch. We haven't really announced it yet, just to be clear on that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm not showing the screen. I want to go ahead and start going through the pre-orders. We have some pre-order announcements to do, and I see it's 37 after the hour. And I also want to get back to comments here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to announce the first pre-order for this evening. So thanks for your patience while I get the web page ready so I can actually show that to you all tonight. So I just got to make sure that this works okay. So I just have to make my screen. I'm looking off to my other monitor, so apologies that I'm not looking at you guys on the screen right now as I get this ready so we can start talking about this. So thanks again for your patience. So let's go ahead and get started again. And thanks for tuning in tonight because we have several pre-order game announcements for tonight. And I'm so glad you could be here. So our first pre-order game announcement for tonight is, believe it or not, it's a science fiction solitaire game. So it's Galaxy Force Battles of the Fallen Stars. So this is from a new German designer. He's done a great job. We've had a lot of play tests done over the last year and a half of this game. It's a solitaire space game. And again, I'll just go through some of the graphics here. Here's the mounted map board, full-size mounted map board for the game. It's a solitaire game. It's got lots of mechanics to it. Again, we're going to get into details with the designer interview for the game that's going to be coming. But again, lots of great information. Also, just some sample counters. The counters aren't done yet. This is just a small sampling of some of the counters that are going to be used in the game. There are more counters. There's another counter sheet, for example. But yeah, it's a solitaire space game. For more information about the game, I can just go out here and you can see here, it's a fast playing, it's an immersive, that whole narrative gameplay style that I really harkens back, for me personally, it's back to Gregory Smith's first designs with the Hunters, etc. That whole genre of narrative-driven solitaire games. This is that concept. It's science fiction. It's a card-based system, so there's a lot of events that can take place with numerous alien species, as you can read on the product page. I'll work to add more cards and more artwork in the future. So the artwork is really excellent. The designer is an artist, to let you know. So it's like a dual role. He's not only the designer, he's also an artist. But it basically talks about what's happening with the galaxy, with the formations of the of roughly the different forces and how there's issues going on. The Order of Allied Stars are now in turmoil as the story goes, and there's a full story that goes with the game that it really gives you the plot of what's going on. And the game, again, the complexity is going to be quite low. It's 3 out of 10 for solitaire suitability. It's designed as a solitaire game, so it's a 10 out of 10, and it's about 2 to 3 hours per scenario as a solitaire game. So it's got the mounted map board. It's got 2 counter sheets. I'm only showing 1 counter sheet right now, but there's a second counter sheet. It's going to have 55 of these oversized. It's 4 3/4 inches high. These tarot-sized cards. They're big. There's 18 artifact cards, 18 society cards. Those alien species, for example. There's 18 hostile cards, which would be those events that you have to resolve and combat. And there's going to be a special rules reference card as well. So those are on these bigger sized tarot style cards. So that's, as I mentioned earlier, we've got this pre-order that's going to be going with those oversized cards, which I think is going to be quite a nice touch for the game. So definitely please check out. Again, you can see it here on the website. You can now go to pay later for Galaxy Force. In the future, we will definitely have the designer on to talk about the game. We've also had a lot of play testers. We'll probably maybe invite 1 or 2 play testers to talk about the game because the game's been played a lot. Because it's a solitaire game, it's very easy to play test. So we're really excited to have a solitaire science fiction game to add to the mix. So that is the first pre-order that I want to share with you. And I'm just going to have to hide my screen again. Sorry, guys, because I need to go back and do the next pre-order announcement. We do have more to do. So let me go back to the products page here and let's unveil our next pre-order game. So let me just get this ready. And which one do I want to go with? I'm going to go with this one. So I just have to make it visible on the website. So allow me just a few seconds to do that, and then we'll be off and running again. So again, check out Galaxy Force. By the way, the pricing is, I believe it's $54 for the pay later pre-order. And all the games I'm going to be talking about tonight have the exact same price, $54 pre-order and $69 list. So we really, it seems like we're really, once you get the catalog, you're going to see this new sweet spot, mounted map board, a few counter sheets, it could be punch board style counter sheets or just the other kind, just depends on the game. But yeah, really high quality. And it looks like we're settling on this $54 pre-order price, which is pretty darn cool, I think, that we have that. So again, let's go to the website again. So I'm going to go there now. So let me just go here, and then I'm going to show you obviously on screen what we're looking at to announce the next game that we have on pre-order. So I'm just getting that ready now. And yes, here we go. So let's do our next pre-order announcement. This is number 2 for tonight. And this is Grant, the Western Campaign of 1862. Now, for some of you, this might look somewhat familiar. Like you might be like looking at this like, could this possibly be, maybe, sort of? If I mentioned the designer is John Southard, you're probably going to go, oh, okay, now I think I know what this might be. So there was a game that was done by Quarterdeck Games, which was Jack Green was the publisher back in the day. And John Southard did a game called Grant Moves South. This is not a reprint. This is not just paying homage to the original release. This is a different game. So it's been changed a lot. So this is not Grant Moves South. If you have that game, great, from Quarterdeck. But one of the most obvious changes you will actually see right away, and I'll just show here from the back of the box view, is if you're familiar with Grant Moves South, it was a hex-based map. So this is point to point. So again, even the map is completely changed. And again, just as I mentioned about Vance von Voorhees, for Remember the Main, the designers, we've got the Audible available for designers. We want to do this game. We love the game you did before. What do you think about a new design? Is it a reprint? Do you want to just make little touch-ups, work in just the errata and be done with it and call it a day? Or do you really want to do something to it? John Southard says, I really want to do something to it. So he made it more variable, went to a point-to-point system movement. And yeah, there's a lot of game features, which I'll cover here in a moment. And the great news, which what's coming, is I'm going to have John Southard on, and he'll be able to do a full run through on what's going to be included in the game. But it's basically early 1862. So yeah, the Tennessee River, getting into Nashville and Corinth and the various battles that took place there as well. So you'll definitely see that in the game. So some of the other components we have here, here's the game map itself, which you can zoom in on the map. So again, this is JPEG. This is JPEG quality. So yeah, you're not going to go crazy with the quality here. I didn't do it as a PNG file because it would just be a huge file size, but this should at least give you the idea, especially for those that own Grant Moves South. Yeah, it's not hex-based. It's totally different map. And so the system's changed a bit, obviously not just with movement, but other factors as well. But it's going to be a full-size mounted game map. Again, it's that same price point, $54 instead of $69 for the pre-order. It includes the Battle of Shiloh, which is part of the 1862 campaigns. The game features a lot as far as features. I'm not gonna really belabor this point, but again, there's changes and enhancements that John Southard has made to this Civil War game. So definitely check out the details of the features, and then John will definitely walk us through all the enhancements and refinements and absolute changes he made to the game, such as the game map itself. And here, as you can see, it's another highly solitaire suitable game. It's for 2 people, for 2 players, but you can definitely play it solitaire. Again, it's now an abstract movement style game. It's not hex-based. It's 1 week per turn. And I want to mention the strength points, 1,000. Each strength point represents 1,000 soldiers or troops, because I'm going to show you some of the artwork now. I want to go back to that. So going back to the artwork, we're going to see some of the counter sheets as well right here. So here, for example, and this reminds me of the pretty cool graphics from the 90s, year 2000, got some nice iconic graphics there for the gunships, etc. here, so you can get a flavor that it's not just the land, obviously not just the land for warfare, but it's obviously the naval and the ports, what happened on the ports as well. So I think this will give you a good idea of the counter sheet. I typically just share the front counter sheet to games on our website. We don't typically post the backs, but this should give you a good idea of the quality of the graphics. And then I mentioned that one strength point marker represents about 1,000 soldiers. So here's where that comes in. So like Victory Games, Civil War, same concept of strength chits for your soldier force that you have accommodating your leaders through activations, variable activations, which obviously makes it a very contested battle with an initiative changing sides. So there's the two counter sheets, which I'm showing here. This is the front, obviously, of one of the counter sheets, and on the back side, it's got different strength values, like the odd numbered strength chit values for those soldiers. So again, we're really excited to have John Southard. Obviously, we've got his Carrier Battles Philippine Sea game coming soon. We've got his other naval games that are going to be coming as well. But yes, he did Grant Moose South quite a while ago, but this is quite a new style treatment. So this is not your typical reprint. It's a completely different game. So please definitely check it out on the website. Yeah, I hope you looks like I see some comments here that you like the artwork and you like the box in particular. So again, we're really excited to have another John Southard updated and new Civil War design covering 1862. So let me hide my screen again. Another fire drill. I have to go back here to do another pre-order. So bear with me, and this will actually be our last pre-order for this evening, which is great timing because I've got about 10 minutes left. So hope that's good news for you. And again, same price point. It's $54 for pay later. You don't have to worry about paying now at all. It's $54. So let's go ahead and get this baby ready so we can start rocking and rolling on this next one. So let me just go back here to the website and let me make sure it's showing up and get it ready for the announcement. This will be our last pre-order for tonight. We will have more coming, by the way, because we do have a few more that we do need to cover that we're excited to do. So this one I'm also, I'm actually involved in quite a bit as well. So I'm happy to share this one. So I mentioned earlier today, little pop quiz. I mentioned earlier today, War for America from by designer Gilbert Collins. That is now on Vassal. We made that Vassal module available for download tonight as an announcement through the newsletter. But we've got another Gilbert Collins design now. So here we go. It's World War I. It's in the spirit of War at Sea from John Edwards, of John Edwards fame, the classic War at Sea. But this one's got a few more twists to it, a little more chrome to it, getting a little bit more chrome into the subtleties of World War I naval strategic warfare. So it's not just a straight War at Sea liftoff, but it was definitely borrowed by Gilbert Collins, and I've had Gilbert on the show several times, and we can definitely go into depth on this game as well. Again, same price point as all the other pre-order games. It's going to be $54 if you do the pay later pledge. Great price point. You get the mounted game map. Here again is the back of the box. So from the website, you can see the information. Again, it's really influenced and inspired by John Edwards' War at Sea, the classic War at Sea. But as you see here, there's definitely some enhancements that have been made. There's some of the counters, by the way, different size counters. So we have large square ship counters, individual ship counters. We have smaller counters for the markers, and we also have some round pieces for the squadron formations as well. So again, there's more information about the game. You can just look at the back of the box to get a quick run through about the game. Absolutely stunning. I think this is an absolutely stunning game map. This is still low res, but this is going to be a mounted. This is going to be a mounted beauty of a game map. Everybody I've talked to that has seen this map is like, oh yeah, we love this period style for World War I, and adding a little more flavor, a little more nuance to that War at Sea situation for World War I. Yeah, people are all over it. So really confident about the map and the artwork for this game. I think we've hit a sweet spot for sure on this one. We think people are really going to like it. So again, it's the mounted map game treatment. Newt Grunitz is the artist of this project, as an FYI. You can zoom in, get a closer look at the map again. Here's some of the counters. Again, you can zoom in. I've done the, and again, this is a JPEG, so it's not going to be perfect quality when you zoom in that close. It's going to get a little dithered. But I've got the front sides of every counter sheet here. So these are larger. I think it's 3/4 inch size, if I got that right. I want to say 3/4 inch size square counters for some named capital ships, for example. Here's sheet number 2. We've got the Germans and other forces here as well. We've got some markers for battle sites, room 40 operations marker, quite interesting, I think. Then we've got smaller size markers. I can't remember if they're, I want to say they're 9/16 inch. I'll double check that. But these are all, this is just the front side. This is just the front side, right, of this counter sheet. So there's obviously a lot more markers when you flip it over for tracking hits, being odd numbered hits, etc., like 1 and 3 hits. But here you can see a lot of the markers you're going to need for the game, which makes sense, right, in the John Edwards style of tracking hits in the game. And then we've got those actual, let me go back to the next one. Then for sheet 4, we've got these oversized rounded markers for all those main squadrons that you're going to have, again, on the map. So lots going on there, different style, different size playing pieces. I think people are really going to like it. Ease of, you know what the ease of play is going to be for the game. It's going to be really easy to get into because it's that John Edwards style game. So again, definitely check out the Kaiser's High Seas Fleet, Great War at Sea, 1914 through 1918. Have a brief description about the game here. I'm going to save the subtleties of the game. Will be really saved for Gilbert Collins to explain to you, what little wrinkles he brought to the War at Sea design. A little more nuance has been brought to the game because he knows that you guys would want to see a little more nuance to the system, but you've got that base chassis model being a pretty simplistic game. It's just hard on decisions, and what do you do, when you have to make those decisions? That's basically what's going on there. So definitely check out the product page. And again, I'm going to be I plan to add more artwork for these pre-orders as I go, for certain. So, first thing I try to do is get the back of the box, as the back of the box provides, as we have here for the High Seas Fleet. I think the back of the box is a great way to know really quickly what's included in the box, because we've got all the game components that are listed. We've also got the roster of the game. We also got the roster sheet with the icons. How many hours does it take to play? Is it solitaire friendly? Complexity level, so on and so forth. So, and then a nice description with sample artwork. So I think the back of the box is really probably the best communications we can do for any of these pre-order titles. So I always try to get the back of the box up as soon as I possibly can. So again, I hope this is something that's going to be of interest to you guys. Definitely check it out. So we have 3 pre-order announcements. They're all on pay laters. They're going to be part of the catalog as well, obviously, and they're all at that pre-order pay later, $54. All 3 get mounted game map treatments. Some will be the punch board treatment, and some will be just the counters. I think most are actually more like the standard counters you punch out, not the round. I think just one of them has the rounded punch board treatment to it. So, so again, you'll see more information about the components, but I hope you like what you see. Solitaire suitability for the game, I believe for this one we have it listed. I think it was primarily meant to be. It's solitaire suitability is high. So again, there's not a lot in terms of limited intelligence in the game. The famous adage, dice at sea, right? Or at sea, dice at sea. So there's not a lot of hidden things going on in the game that's going to get in the way of solitaire suitability. I'm assuming that's the question for this game, not the other 2 games. But to be honest, all the games have very high solitaire suitability, because don't forget that the science fiction game Galaxy Force is a pure solitaire game. So Galaxy Force is purely solitaire. It's a solitaire-driven narrative style game. And then Grant is a 2-player game which can definitely play solitaire style, and same here as well. So thanks for that question. Thanks, Charles. Glad you like the map. Solitaire rules. If there's, we'll be posting the rules as well, as you know. So obviously for this game, if there's anything that has to be specific spelled out for solitaire, it will be. But for, I think, most of these games, and it didn't really require a solitaire add-on to it. So I'm just looking at final comments here. So again, if you have any final questions for me tonight, please let me know. If you do have some final questions, post them to the comments now, and I'll be sure to check them out. So let me just go through here and just go through the. Yes, it's definitely like War at Sea, Mark, on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Absolutely, it's based on the War at Sea system with some wrinkles, right? With some wrinkles added to it, and then hopefully the production quality. Hopefully, you already see from the production quality from as you've seen from our recent releases that you're definitely gonna like what you see. And yeah, Gilbert does a great job with this design. I know a lot of people have his War for America really are happy with it. So yeah, I don't know about this. So we hope we aren't. So we hope we're being gentle with the catalog sales price on the website now, and now the pre-order price is pretty much standardized until you get to these larger size games. Everything's coming in at $54, and that's a pay later, by the way. So it's nothing to worry about right now. So hopefully that's good news. And as I mentioned, the Compass Expo, you're definitely going to make out like a bandit for games that are in print. Absolutely. So let me just check here for final comments. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Other questions. Yes, here we go. Thanks for asking questions. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Mark says Grant has his interest from a classic designer, which is John Souther, definitely. Is Barbarian at the Gates available? That is a good question. I'm trying to remember because there's been some Ancients games done lately, so I would have to type that to do a quick check. So not yet. It's still a pay later. So no, Barbarians at the Gates is not yet available. So great question there. Thanks for that question. Sorry, Dennis. I didn't mean to make your wallet hurt. It shouldn't make your wallet hurt because you shouldn't have to pay for anything yet that I've showed you. So let's see here. American Tank Ace 18 months ago. Will I get the pre-order price? It was 52 plus 12 shipping. Let me make sure I understand the question from Ken. I pre-ordered American Tank Ace 18 months ago. So you will be locked in with that price, actually, Ken. So whatever your pledge level was at that time, that's the price that you pay for the game. So you don't have to worry about price changes for games when you do like a pay later or what have you. It's the price you did the pledge for. That's the price you've locked in by doing the pay later. So just to let you know about that. So if you have any questions, though, it's probably good that you have this question because it gives me a good segue to mention what's the email address for any customer service type inquiries like this one. You want to send an email, and Ken, please, I'd suggest that as well. Send an email to sales@compassgames.com with your questions. Summary of tonight, hide your wallet. So you guys, I hope you guys are happy. So does that mean you're happy with the pre-orders tonight? So that's a thumbs up. So maybe that means we're listening to you. We're doing interesting titles from designers you like. I know we needed to do more. We want to go a little deeper in science fiction. So I was excited to share with you Galaxy Force. And it's been play tested a lot. So really confident about that. It's going to be a great game, right? Okay, Siege of Jerusalem. It's not going to be in the catalog yet. And the reason that is Bruno is just starting on the project now. So we're going to wait a tad before Siege of Jerusalem goes on pre-order. So you're not going to see Siege of Jerusalem in the catalog, but I hope smiley face time because Bruno is the best person to have on the project. He was so heavily involved in the Avalon Hill design. And the good news is he knows exactly what he didn't like about the Avalon Hill design. He's an expert on the game, and he's going to definitely improve it. Road to the Rhine is not on pre-order yet because we're waiting for some of the graphics from Joey Alce. So I've held off on Road to the Rhine, which is that classic edition from GDW. We need to get more of the graphics in from Joey Alce. I will definitely do it at that time. Also, same reason because I'm out of time. No update on Panzer Creek tonight because of just the time limit here. I've hit my limit. But thanks for asking that question. I'll definitely come back to that. Mark, we corresponded today on Winter Storm. I don't know how many people know this, but Mark knows it. Winter Storm is one of my favorite game designs. And it's just because it's a personal story. I met the designer and I saw the playtest version of that first game set up in the Oxnard, California game shop where John Shetler was a game store owner. And he had it was actually playing Highway to the Reich from SPI with 3 or 4 different guys, and this is back in the early 80s, probably 81. But he had a crayon style playtest maps, which became Winter Storm, his first game in the series. So Mark and I are chatting about this, and I can't say more right now, but I have certain selfish motives behind that whole series. Blue Water Navy Pacific, that's something Bill mentioned. That's going to be coming down the pike. It was mentioned in the last town hall session, so I believe it's not on the release schedule yet. So I believe the default response there was early quarter next year, I believe. So I'll double check that. We'll have a town hall with Bill next week as well. So that for sure. Yeah, Galaxy Force might make you think of Galaxy Quest. It's sort of that same concept, I'd say. Absolutely. Hitler's Last Gamble, the update there is where right now Art Lupinacci, I don't know if he's online tonight. I didn't check all the posts yet, but Art is heavily into all the rules layout work. There's a huge historical booklet commentary because Danny Parker is a multi-book author on the Battle of the Bulge, besides a multi-game designer of the Battle of the Bulge. So right now we're purely focused on the layout of the rules and the play and the historical book as well. I want to call it a book because that's how big it is, because it's Danny Parker writing all this research on Hitler's Last Gamble. It's an amazing piece of work. So absolutely expect that. That is what's going to wrap up the game, by the way. It was play tested for about 4 years and went through tons of development and changes. So thanks for putting Galaxy Force on your pay later. Definitely would recommend it, and you're going to enjoy it. It's a solitaire game. You're really going to like it. 50% off Paper Wars at Expo. There are discounts on Paper Wars, yes, on magazines. This would not be like the most recent issue. Let me just say that. If it's like the most recent issue, hot off the presses, you're not going to see that type of heavy discounting. We reserve that just for newly released items. But Bill does stay true to his word, and anybody here that's been to Expo, take their word for it. They'll comment here in the comments section that, yes, you'll see 50% pretty much across the board. Silent War 2.0, that's going to be coming out. That the plan for that is early first half of next year as well, unless we can move it up in the schedule. So that's obviously making good progress as well. But yeah, 50% off Paper Wars. If somebody was charged a different amount, I don't know, was this charging for? Okay, the game is definitely 64. It's not $64. So I'll have to get more information from you, William. You should not see an immediate charge for any pay laters right now. And the pay later is set up right now at that discounted price, should be $54. So I don't know if that's trying to do something with shipping charges or not, but I think it's just the $54 pledge. So that's where the sales at compassgames.com email comes in handy. It should just be the pay later for the price of the game. Contact Now, haven't had a chance to do updates on that one. I'm sorry, because of all the pre-order crunch that's going on right now to get the pre-orders in. We'll do that. Road to the Rhine, we absolutely will be announcing the pre-order for that. Joe's going to be getting the graphics into us, as you can see here. So we're excited to get all the graphics in for Road to the Rhine so we can do a formal pre-order, announce it. What's going on with Beneath the Southern Cross, a flat top game? We've got a lot going on with that one, Stigler, actually. So the good news there, and that goes back to Console World Expo about, what was it, 2 months ago now, almost. So we haven't formally announced it yet, but we're actually splitting up the game because it's such a large game. We're splitting it up into 2 separate releases. And it's going to be called Torpedo Alley. Is going to be the first release. It's going to have the one map. Going to have several key scenarios to it, and then we're going to follow it up with the second game that joins it together as well. They're both going to be standalone games, but then they can be combined for some full-on campaigns. But there's going to be major updates. If you want to email me at john@compassgames.com, I can point you in the direction of the latest video interview I've done with Bill Cooper, which was done in the last few months, where we showed a lot of the components. So yeah, no, the game's doing great, progressing very good. And literally we've spent the last 2 months, or the designer has, just refactoring the game into 2 separate products, which went very smoothly. And then just getting the artwork aligned up that we've already got done for it. So this was the right decision, by the way. And we're really excited. Kev Sharp is aware of it. He was one of the first people to mention it and he loves that idea as well, that it's being split up. He saw the game at our Dallas event, and he's really excited about that. Ardwolf, thumbs up on Winter Storm. I'm right there with you, buddy. Just very intriguing, classic game. Just love it for the detail. So yeah, swing of the bat would be great on that one. Here we go. Gordon Erickson ordered one grant, probably another. 2 out of 3 is not bad. If you're in baseball, Gordon, you would be a multi-million-dollar per year player on that. So that would be awesome. So great news on that one. Just checking final comments here. Art is so good with his words. One word. Yes, I'm working. Art doesn't waste any time. Yes, I'm working on it. It's coming. Panzerkrieg, I'm just waiting on the artist to start. It's probably I'm the holdup right now because I have to reach out to him to make sure he's got everything he needs, which I hope he does. But Panzerkrieg is being done by the same artist, Masahiro, who did the 6 Angles version of the game that everybody really loved the artwork for. So it's going to be like a 1.5, 2 mapper, Panzerkrieg. We're not going to like super blow it up, but yeah, we want to go with 9 16-inch counters. So that's what's happening there, just to let you know. Simulation Canada's English Civil War, not right now on the docket, Ian, but thanks for your suggestion. That's something we can definitely look at. Definitely call me, Joe. Let's talk tomorrow if that's okay. I'm not going to be able to do any calls tonight, but definitely please call me tomorrow. Please do. Sea Power and states is yes. It's absolutely something I can mention right now. So thanks for that question about Sea Power and states. I'm going to go back to our home page just real quickly here, if I may. So right here on our home page near our pre-orders recently announced, if you click on it, you'll see here Sea Power and State. That was one of our pre-orders done as part of this catalog campaign to get all the, got to get all these bloody games on pre-order for the catalog. So yes. And by the way, all the artwork is done. This one's already at the printer, I believe, to be honest. So this one's like, yeah, this one's very far along. So I think Bill showed an unboxing at his high resolution 73 DPI, 74.5 DPI camera. So this one's actually like in the warehouse, just to let you know. So thanks also for joining us from, I think it's Tokyo you mentioned, or maybe it's not Tokyo, in Japan. I think you said it's 9 a.m. Or maybe it's 10 a.m. for you now, local time for Friday. So yes, this game, Sea Power and States, is done. It's printed. It's in the warehouse. And yeah, we're looking forward to getting that game released. Let's see. Who is this Hitler guy everybody keeps talking about? Not sure. Sorry, I missed that one. I may have missed that one. Yeah, Ian, Galaxy Force is going to be a great game, and I'll have other play testers. They can talk about the game. They love it. It's going to be a very good game. Very good game. Anything coming in the South China Sea series, I will defer that to Bill Thomas. He did talk about it, but I can't remember all that about it. Yeah, Stigler. So you're already aware of the decoupling of the game for Torpedo Alley. That was actually what was played during Consum World Expo 2 months ago, and I believe the same thing. We have to focus on Torpedo Alley for final play testing. I mean, it's been, the scenario's been played, right? But now it's the full packaging. So now it's just play testing to make sure we've got the components right, because it needs to be a standalone complete package. So so Bill Cooper, speaking of many special events at Campus Expo, Bill will be there play testing with gamers. Torpedo Alley is going to be played in November in Connecticut. So definitely check it out. And Art's just talking about here. Art is heads down. He's been working on the historical study booklet, or I like to call it a book because it's so big and thick. So yeah, you know how Danny Parker is. It's going to be incredible. Yeah, Sea Power and State. Mo's also a big fan of that game as well. So definitely coming. Any chance of Brownwater Navy game after dog boats? That's a good question. I believe there was discussions about Joe Carter, Charles wanting to do something along Vietnam era as a game. So that might be something. So we'll have to check in with Joe Carter. He's also working on different types of designs. He's also doing like a pirates game, which you might not be interested in. Might not be interested in a pirates game, but he's also done there's another Vietnam. Actually, I think he's talked about another Vietnam game he's doing. I'm not sure if that was part of the boat series or not. But Joe is really good at, like, he's got multiple pivot points for designs he's really branching out into now, like that pirate game I just mentioned. So absolutely, any multiplayer games on the docket for 3 players, I'd probably have to research and look, because there's so many pre-orders we've just announced. I'm gonna have to go through the list. I can't give an answer off the top of my head because it's too many titles. But John, if you email me, I can get you an answer on that one. Yeah, we're very happy to support Vassal for you guys, and certain time period has passed where we can release the Vassal module. So we hope you enjoy the Vassal module. Absolutely. Let's see here. Just looking at final questions as we wrap up here. Stigler, hey, maybe a future event. You've got a lot of regional events going on. I know we're trying to do something West Coast for Compass Games Expo one day, as well as other locations. And I don't know, Consum World Expo, I would like to expand the reach as well. We're regional right now with Dallas and our main event venue in Arizona. So I'm sure we're going to run into it at an event, in other words. And yeah, we're sorry we're going to miss you in November, obviously, for sure. All right, everybody, I think that is a wrap. So I hope I got through most of the questions, because I did have to go through. I ran over just because I want to make sure I covered your questions and comments tonight. So 3 new pre-orders. They're just pay laters. Any questions or concerns, please contact sales@compassgames.com. They should be pre-orders or at pay laters. You should not be charged now. It should just be a future charge of $54 plus shipping. So I hope you're interested in those games. All 3 are solitaire friendly. Obviously, the Galaxy Force game is purely a solitaire design. The other 2 games are 2-player designs that can be done solitaire. So we're really excited about all those games. So again, everybody, thanks so much for joining us tonight for another episode of Compass Games Live. We'll be back next Thursday night for our town hall session with Bill Thomas. I hope we will definitely do the pre-order announcement for Road to the Rhine, as Joe Yaus was mentioning in the chat. And we might have another game or so as well to add to that mix. So please tune in next Thursday night for our Compass Town Hall session. So again, everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. For those, again, our hearts go out to everybody in Florida, surrounding areas, obviously staying safe at this extremely dangerous time just after the storm passes. Next 48, 72 hours are critical. So, please stay in, stay safe. Hope you have some lighting. Try to play a board game. If you have electricity, do not go outside, please. So stay safe. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next Thursday night. Bye-bye.